Welcome back to the TriFecta Airsoft podcast. I'm your host, Evike. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you never miss another podcast. Also, do me a favor. Go on to whatever podcast app you listen to us on and give us a rating and review. That really helps us rank in the searches. Thank you so much. Let's get into the podcast.
My name's Matt, by the way. Well, I'm sorry. What's your name?
Oh, Eric.
Eric, it's nice to meet you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or I got it right here too. I got a name tag on my shirt.
Oh, look at that.
E-Rock.
I don't. I have Burb Life.
Hell yeah. Well, what's up, man? You got a cool background. You got a big ass box in front of you, and you got a lot going on. You got some cool tattoos.
Yep. They're all of my family, my parents, my brothers and sisters, my nieces and nephews. Funny thing is I do not have my kids' names tattooed on me just yet, but I will eventually.
Yeah, my son and daughter-in-law, they have their kids' tattoos or kids' names on them.
Yeah, I'm a huge family type guy. Actually,
Yeah.
it's funny that we were talking about this. I was cleaning up my office. This is my office where I work every day.
Yeah.
And I have three boys. My oldest, his name is Colt. My middle is named Walker. So what do I have here? I have a Colt Walker from the 1800s.
Oh my God, that is cool.
And then my youngest, we decided to stray off a little bit, and his name is Jameson. So I have an empty bottle of Jameson right here.
That's awesome, man. Hell yeah.
So that was
very cool.
Part of my wife's idea, and I kind of rolled with it, and she was like, why don't you go buy a Colt Walker? And I was like, you're telling me to go buy a gun? Yes. Yes.
I know. Yes. That's a good wife.
She is definitely my support structure, and I couldn't appreciate her more.
Yeah. Same with mine, man, especially when I went through my illness or whatever. I've said on here a bunch of times on the podcast because, people ask me about airsoft or whatever. And I've told them kind of where I came from, my story and stuff, and how we started this channel. And I always talk about the airsoft community and how, like, when I started this channel, it really helped me a lot, but before that, what really helped me was my wife and kids and, my mom and, other family as well. So they were the first step, the first responders, I guess, to help me in that irritating time. So yeah.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I when you reached out to me, I had not heard. I mean, I had heard the name TriFecta, but I had never watched any of the podcasts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I actually just started watching them because I was like, what am I getting into here?
Yeah. Right. Of course. And that's what I do too. I always check when I ask somebody. I check out their stuff.
Well, what illness are you talking about? And this can be off.
Oh no, it's fine, dude. I've got it down really quickly now. So I had Guillain-Barre Syndrome. It's I don't know if you ever heard of it, but basically totally fine and healthy one day, and then 3-4 days later, you're in a wheelchair, can't talk, can't walk, whatever. So
the funny thing is I actually had heard of that.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people haven't.
I'm really fascinated with the human body. I'm fascinated with the human mind. That's why I like looking up documentaries of like psychopathy and
oh shit.
And just, well, me myself, I've been in the military for 16 years.
Nice. Dude.
I have generalized anxiety disorder, so I kind of like wanted to dive into what that meant.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of mental illnesses are demonized nowadays. Well, not it's actually being more accepted, maybe kind of too far accepted.
Yeah.
But like when I was starting to go through my journey on trying to figure out where I was mentally, it was very demonized, and like that's why I kind of dove into the different types of illnesses that people could have. And I had heard of that one, like you one day you're like walking around just fine, and then you're like in crutches or
Mm-hmm.
you're in a wheelchair and you can barely move.
Yeah.
Like that to me, I was like,
Oh, it's crazy. There's a handful of NFL players that have gotten this over the years.
hmm
Once I started, heard about it, heard what I had, whatever, and I started looking that stuff up. And there's a Netflix movie. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I think it's called Gleason. That was the last guy of the name, or the last name of the guy, the NFL player. He was played for the New Orleans Saints, and this is back, I want to say early 2000s, something like that.
hmm
And it happened to him. So it actually progressed with him. He had like turned into
hmm
uh, whatever the multiple, like MS kind of, and
yeah,
progressed. So I think he's still alive. He's in a wheelchair, paraplegic wheelchair. Has to kind of talk with the computer, like reading
yeah.
words and shit, or something like that. But anyway, yeah. So he was like that was a movie I watched soon after, and I found out there's a bunch of, what was weird is there's, for this type of thing, there's no common denominator. Like the majority of people that I saw on these groups that I started following were in their early to mid 20s, in really good shape, like avid health nuts, marathon runners, like all this shit. And I'm like, so, because I think a lot of people assume when somebody gets some type of autoimmune thing, like, oh, it's they're out of shape, they're older, and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So, and I was the same way. I mean, I was not young. I was in my 40s, but it was I was in pretty good shape, like. Anyway, so it was just, I've tried to figure out. I remember for like months, once I was able to like start using a pen and write,
hmm
I started writing everything I could think of and remember leading up to that, like anything that went into my body. And and it was pretty simple because I didn't eat a whole lot of like junk food or nothing like that. My diet was pretty plain.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I remember going to the neurologist one time, and I said, okay, look, doc, I got 3 pages of all this stuff here. Did this, I was taking these vitamins, this much of this, and he just stand there like this, like shaking his head. He goes, Eric, you just had some bad luck, bro. Okay. Like, he's like, we don't know what caused it. I said, okay. All right. So,
But that reminds me of something my dad actually used to tell me when I was younger. It's what makes a man a really good man is to accept that sometimes he's not going to get the answers to the questions that he has.
yeah, that's a tough one.
It is, and it's the
Uh-huh.
unknown that drives us absolutely bonkers.
No shit. Especially when you're like, if you have that personality type that you're like a fix-it kind of person, which I am.
Most
I
men
like
are.
to find, yeah.
Ask my wife.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it drives my wife nuts. She's like, "Can you stop?" She's like, "Stop overthinking." I'm like, "It's not overthinking. I'm just go. Why? I keep asking the question why until I get to the source of the issue."
Yeah.
So anyway, a lot of if-then statements in
hmm
my head. So if this happens, then that means this. If this, oh, so this can't be. Wait a minute. So
hmm
I worked on a lot of PLC driven machines.
hmm
Um, so a lot of the strings are basically, a lot of coding is if-then statements.
hmm
So if this is on, this is off. Basic, whatever. So anyway, yeah, and that's how, coming out of that illness, is how I started this channel.
Oh,
Yeah, just something to do.
that's pretty awesome. Actually, a sort of the same thing for me. Well, not the same thing as in like with an illness, but I was searching for something as well, which is why I started my channel. Why I started playing airsoft in general, really.
Okay.
Um, are we actually recording now, or?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, geez. I didn't even realize I was like.
Well, look, this recorded. If if you say something you don't want on here, just say, hey, don't put that on there, whatever. But
I'm pretty much an open book,
yeah, same, man.
and that kind of annoys my family sometimes, but it is what it is. But no, I started playing airsoft because I was searching for something. Um, I got out of active duty, and I spent 8 years in active duty. It was a great time. Deployed twice. Had a lot of great friends. The camaraderie is what I missed.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go to a civilian job, and it was just not the same. Like I was underneath. I remember. I'm going to tell you this story, and it's kind of funny, but it's not at the same time. When I got out of the military, I joined help desk, IT help desk. I don't know if any of your viewers know anything about IT help desk, but it's like kind of low level IT work. And when I left the military, I had switched over to communications, was in a network engineering position for a brigade.
Okay.
And then I left the military, became help desk, and I was fixing people's like personal computers. So it felt like a step backwards for me.
Yeah.
And the moment that I had my time of like, wait, where did you make a wrong turn here? Was when I was underneath the desk of one of my guys at work, and it was October, so they were all in their costumes because that's what my company does.
Yeah.
And he was dressed up as a bear, and he was like, "Are you going to be done anytime soon?" And I sat back and I thought, I was like, "You went to Iraq twice. You got out of active duty, and then now you're underneath the desk of a guy dressed like a bear." Yelling at you, asking whether you're going to be done anytime soon. Like
Yeah,
I was just,
you're the shithead under the like. Nobody likes IT. Okay, when at a company.
yeah,
Yeah. That's kind of like the joke,
yeah. So going back to the original thing, like I was missing that camaraderie. I was missing that
Right.
like that link. And then when I found airsoft, I actually only started playing airsoft a year ago. I think I said that before,
Yeah.
but I found it with my team Havoc. You can see their flag over here. Hells, Heat Stroke, Mooch, Goose, like they all just brought me in, and we're like a family now. Like
Yeah.
we're on voice chats almost nightly, like just talking like brothers. Like it's just what I missed.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like the barracks again.
Oh, that's good.
So
Yeah.
that's essentially why I did it. And then the channel was because I'm I have a lot of personality sometimes, and I kind of got to let that out. And
Yeah.
also, God
Good
blessed me with a beautiful wife that she makes a lot of money. I make pretty good money, so I can do these mystery boxes and stuff like that, and then I can give them away to people. And that right there is the fun thing for me. I don't post about it on Instagram. I don't post about it on my channel very often because that kind of takes away for me, like
Yeah.
the fun of it. It's kind of like
Gotcha.
sitting there giving a homeless guy money and then taking a picture of it and being like, "Look what I'm doing." I'm not a huge fan of that.
Gotcha.
But seeing like these young guys being able to have an outlet to be able to do something fun, and then me being able to be a part of that, it's so fun to me. And I
Yeah.
really hope that someone does that for my boys someday.
Sure. Yeah,
Wow,
absolutely.
we just went into like a huge circle. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. Well, I was gonna say, I was, you're sitting here feeling bad about like I just did all this shit in the military, and now I'm under this desk fixing somebody's computer. Well, listen, my very first job after I got out, I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. I was stationed. My last duty station was Pendleton, okay, out there in Southern Cal. I get out. I My first job was at a movie theater as an usher, so cleaning up in between movies. And so I drove trucks in the military. So I was a motor T, not by choice, but whatever. And
Right.
so and that doesn't transfer over. You still have to go through all the regular schooling and to get your CDL or whatever for civilian, like you can't just take your experience like that. That 4 years of doing all that stuff doesn't
Mhm.
count for shit
Yeah.
in the civilian world, which is super dumb. But so anyway, I was like, hey, so I found the first job I could get. And listen, this is back before. This is 1993. I got out late '93. I
You are a little bit older than I thought. Well,
I went in '89 to '93. Yeah.
It was really funny that you said truck driver, because I'm sorry to cut you off, and I want to
Yeah, go
continue
ahead.
hearing about that. But it was funny because you said truck driver. The 88 mics and the truck drivers on the Marine side, I don't know what their designation is, but like those were the most dangerous jobs that you could have.
Oh yeah. Well, see, we weren't in the desert yet.
Right.
So when I was in, but yeah, for sure. When with the whole Iraq and Afghanistan thing, yeah, that is the IEDs. Usually the Humvees, or we drove 5 tons, and big LVSs. I don't know if they still have those, but
Quick shout out all you 88s out there and Marines that were truck drivers in OIF, OEF, and Operation New Dawn. Hats off to you guys.
yeah,
Amazing
shout
work.
out, hoorah, exactly. Now you were, is that Army, the
Uh,
88s?
yeah, Army is 88.
Okay,
But yeah,
gotcha.
continue that story. I'm sorry, I really
Oh
wanted to put that
no,
on.
no. So anyway, yeah, this movie theater was, it was called Nickelodeon Theaters. So this is where Nickelodeon was a company before it had a channel, a station, its own station, and they had movie theaters, and that's what they had. And then they opened up their, kids channel or whatever. And it
I never
really
knew that.
wasn't a kids channel, in the beginning. They had like, pretty dark stuff. Like after like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, it was when Nickelodeon Channel first came out. It was like Ren and Stimpy and
Oh
some of
yeah,
this, kind of a little bit edgy, for little kids. Uh, so they had like the older kids stuff, later on. It was pretty funny. Yeah. But
my
anyway, that was
parents
my
would
first
never let
job.
us watch that.
Yeah.
When I grew up, I was not allowed to watch The Simpsons. I wasn't allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy. I wasn't allowed to watch any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I was very sheltered.
Yeah, I was too, actually. In the '70s and '80s growing up, it was, well, my parents were actually part of a really strict church. We weren't even allowed to listen to rock music.
Oh,
So I used to sneak. My older sister, she was 5 years older than me. So she was kind of, at the time my parents got involved in this church, she was kind of getting out of the house a little bit, So she
hmm.
was like an older teenager, getting ready to graduate high school and stuff. So uh, she had she'd already had all these like Queen and vinyls and stuff, Queen, Van Halen, Rat, all this kind of '80s rock band music, and so I used to sneak her music when once they said, hey, no more. I used to sneak her stuff and listen to it, and I would get in trouble for it. I get caught, all the time. And they were like, "Oh, it's the devil music."
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, it wasn't that way in my house. Really, like my parents were always really good to us. They just, I think they saw the way the world was going, and they just wanted to kind of shelter us from it a little bit.
Yeah.
Whether that was the right move to go, I don't know. I mean, we're all human. We're all fallible.
And there's no master class on parenting,
Oh
okay?
my God, you're right.
Because when you have kids, like half the shit you're winging it because each child has a different personality. There's different circumstances. Like there's too many variables. You can't just say, hey, this is what you do. There are some basics for sure.
Ugh.
Discipline, respect, shit like that. Manners, teach your kid
Mhm.
manners, stuff like that. But it's, yeah, there's no, there's no manual.
I'm a huge fan of yes sir and no sir, yes ma'am and no ma'am. Even though my mom will tell you, like I got pulled to the office so many times when we moved up north for saying yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, because they thought we were being smart Alex. So
Oh my God.
it
Oh,
was
that's the
very
North
odd.
for you. See, I grew up in Cleveland area, Cleveland, Ohio. So,
Okay.
yeah, we wouldn't, if somebody would, say yes sir, no sir up there, it would be really weird.
It's so odd to me though.
Yeah. So
Like,
where were you originally from then?
Georgia.
The South. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I grew up all over. I was born in Minnesota, and I'm sure you caught by the fact that I said Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Uh, I get made fun about that all the time. But we moved down to Georgia. But my mom is a Southern belle. Like she was born and raised in the Boot Heel of Missouri, and
Okay.
my dad is uh, pretty much as respectful. And like he grew up in California, but like he took the conservative ways of my mom, and like it was just we were very yeah. Your the adults are your superiors since
Hmm.
you're children.
Right.
It's yes sir, no sir, yes Mister Matthew, no Mister John. Like it
Yeah.
was just very not strict, but like very structured. And I
Hmm.
think that's why the military did me well is because I was kind of used to it before.
Yeah.
Although getting used to calling a female sergeant was very odd for me because I was like, yes, ma'am. And then she's like, my name's Sergeant. And I'm like, oh, sorry. It was very difficult.
Oh yeah. We didn't have that when I was in. It was females were yes ma'am, if they were officers.
Hmm.
So we didn't call yes sir or ma'am to enlisted. So
Yeah.
unless, except in boot camp, um, you sir, yes sir kind of thing. And
Right.
we're separated. You know, they don't they don't integrate male and female in boot camp in Marine Corps. So
Right.
it was we didn't have that. Like, oh, I don't know which one to say. But
Yeah.
after you get out of boot camp, it was man, if you and it was really hard too because if you're saying yes sir the whole time in boot camp, and and when you get out, it's your first month or so, you some other rank, sergeant or a gunny or something, tells you to do something, you're like yes sir, and they get pissed. They're like, God
Yeah.
damn it, boy, I work for a living.
Yeah. Well, it's funny though when I think it was like back in '07. We went to Korea for Operation Iron Eagle, which is a Marine driven event.
Mm,
And so we saw a bunch of Marines out there, and E6s in the Marines, you're a staff sergeant.
right.
In the Army, you just say sergeant. So
Gotcha.
so we were like Roger Sergeant to these staff sergeants, and they were getting so mad.
Oh shit, yeah, they're getting pissed.
They're like, "Why are you demoting me?" I was like, "I didn't know, bro. I'm sorry."
Oh, I know. We had to learn because we're a department of the Navy. We had to learn all the Navy ranks as
Oh,
well.
that'd be difficult.
Oh, like, bro, okay, I can't hold it. I can't remember ours yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially when it gets up, and you learn it over, especially when you're active duty because you're just around so much of it all the time.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that my wife's ex-husband was an ensign, and then when her and I got married, she's like, "Thank God I'm with a real soldier now." Sorry, all of you Navy guys out there.
Hey, we call them our sister company.
Oh
Oh, dude.
man.
Well, listen, before I forget though, I'm doing a special podcast for Veterans Day, which is November 11th. Okay.
Okay.
And November 10th is the Marine Corps birthday. November
Correct.
11th is Veterans Day. There's a reason Veterans Day is the day after Marine Corps birthday. Just saying. Okay. No.
I get it. My
So,
my boss is a Marine, and he tells me every
oh
year.
yeah. So anyway, I want to invite you on as well. Now that I know you're a veteran too,
Of course.
and I've got a list of guys I want to have on. So we're gonna have. It's gonna be. Uh, well, I'll go over some details with you guys. I want to get in contact with. There's like 5 or 6 or 7 of you
You ever
that I
heard
want
of
to have on.
Reaper Six?
I don't think so.
Okay, he's another YouTuber, like small time like me.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he has more subs than I do. He's also a vet, so I'll
Okay.
actually shoot you his information as well.
That'd be awesome, dude. Yeah. I want to get as many as I can on that'll be functional on here because
Yeah.
I think you can have like, I don't know, 20 or more
Hmm.
on Discord video call. Maybe, I don't know how many, 100. I don't know.
I think it's like 100.
Is it
Yeah.
99?
Yeah, because you have a channel in your Discord that's like 99 people strong.
Right. So I'm not sure how well it works with video. Um, the
We could
most I've
figure it out.
had, the most I've had is 7 or 8. Yeah, 8. And as long as everyone has decent internet, it works fine. And especially a headset and mic.
Yes.
That's going to be the important thing where, there's no echo from somebody having, speakerphone kind of thing or whatever. But anyway, I want to do a special podcast for Veterans Day. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I,
I will,
I'd be
we'll get
game.
into that later. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And it doesn't have to be exactly on Veterans Day, with people's schedules and stuff.
Yeah.
If we have to do it a few days before, but I do want it to come out on Veterans Day. So
Sounds good to me.
awesome.
I'm sure you have noticed that I do have a giant box here.
You have a giant box.
And from what you and I have talked about last night, I'm actually really itching to open it. I don't know if you've noticed. If you know, for all of you watching, what I was doing right there was actually,
bro.
I was opening my phone to get the box that this was supposed to be, so that I could actually tell you how much it's worth. This is the Box of Awesomeness
Yes.
from Evike, and now I can.
So which one is it? Yeah, go ahead.
That's,
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Hold on.
So wait a minute. What was Labor Day. This is the Labor Day edition.
No, that one's not coming until next week.
Gotcha.
That one was $399.
Woo! Damn.
Yeah, that one was a rough one. Don't tell my wife; she won't want it. I'm sorry, Allison. I love you.
Oh shit.
She's gonna watch this because she was asking me about it all day long.
Oh no, Allison,
this one,
don't hate. Okay, he's just
so
his hobby.
This one's the Flash Edition Expert Edition. It came out while I was on duty, and I happened to get it because one of my subscribers messaged me on Discord and was like, "Hey, this VOA just dropped. You need to buy this." And I think we were actually coming off the 50 cal range, and I was like, "Yeah, let me buy this real quick."
Oh shit! Nice.
So this one is the Experts Edition. And since last night you told me that no one has ever opened up a mystery box on your podcast, I kind of wanted to do that.
Congratulations, being the first.
I am going to use a fake ballad song because I'm weird like that. I think I just opened it upside down, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
If you all are familiar with my channel, if you're listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, I do a lot of mystery box unboxings. It's fun for me. It's like mystery, obviously, because of the name Mystery Box. Oh crap! I already hate this box.
Man, well, listen. Shout out the name of your channel. It's Phantom of the Opera, right? Or Phantom of the Airsoft.
Phantom of the Airsoft, because I love Phantom of the Opera, and my wife was like, "You should make a channel Phantom of the Airsoft." Like, you can see my Phantom of the Opera mask. If you go back to one of my first videos, you'll see the cringe of it because I actually wore that for my first mystery box unboxing. And
it's cool though. That's your logo too.
Yeah, it is. But I went back and I watched that first video and I was like, man, this is the cringiest crap ever.
We all do that, bro.
We
all do that. Our first videos, I wanted to get rid of them. I was like, oh, my editing is fucking horrible.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so cringy though. So first thing we got a keep calm and wash your hands patch, which I absolutely hate. I actually will not put this one on my wall because I'm done with COVID. I'm sorry if that's unpopular opinion, but I am finished. But it also came with a card, 7 of diamonds, the EMG F1 firearms BDR 15. So that's actually a really cool AEG. I love the look of the F1s. They have that skeletonized hand grip. It's so beautiful looking.
Yeah. Yeah, those are cool. We got a couple of those actually in our mystery boxes.
The demo ranches have not been able to go away. I've gotten 3 so far.
Oh, dude, really?
But I love the look of them. I just wish that I would stop getting them.
Yeah.
Two I've given away in One was a giveaway from my sponsor, Jackal Tactical. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
They're a local store in Pennsylvania. They're very small right now, but I'm hoping to help him kind of. Well, he has the means to do it himself to build him bigger. But I love the guy so much. His name's Paul. He's a fantastic friend of mine, so I'm glad to represent him, his brand.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so they gave us hand sanitizer, which we all know that we have a lot of hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And it looks like we got 3 of these pop-up targets, which I'm actually really happy about.
Yeah, those are cool.
My son, he actually turns 4 on September 11th, and he has this automatic Nerf gun that he knocks over these things with, and it's hilarious to watch him do it because the gun's like as big as him. It's so fun.
That's cool.
I'm happy about those.
Awesome.
So for the first item we have, I recognize this box because I've seen it before, and I'm sure that, can you see this?
Yep.
So do you think you know what it is?
Nope.
It's the Galaxy. So we got the Galaxy pistol, that WeTech Galaxy. It's kind of like the WeTech version of the AAP-01.
Yeah, it looks similar.
Yeah,
I've never seen that. We never got one of those.
I don't think that it is automatic. It is full metal. It feels really, really heavy. It comes with a green gas mask, or green gas magazine, not mask. But yeah, I mean, they're neat. The charging handle's right here. You just pull it back and do your thing.
The AAP, yeah.
It doesn't look like it has full auto, though. I kind of thought it did. Whatever. I'll have to dig into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
And then for the main event.
Yes, sir.
I have to slide the box off the other direction because I don't want to hit my cords.
Right.
So the box looks like it says Spikes Tactical on it. If I remember correctly, that's SEMA. Yeah, it's a SEMA Platinum made by EMG, which is Evik's brand.
Right.
But the Platinums are actually really decent. So we got to...
That looks cool.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy this handguard style. We were talking about the demo ranch on how it's like really skeletonized. Like this is really skeletonized. And it comes with a mid cap as well.
Wow, that's good.
And
I always love when they come with a mid cap.
We do.
Like 100 high caps.
I hate high caps. Oh, so bad. So yeah, I'm actually really not upset at this. I think it's a base box, and I kind of figured it was because of the size and the weight. I was kind of preparing myself for this. When I saw it come in today, when I told you about it last night and I saw it come in, I was like, crap, I'm going to have a base box for his podcast. Fantastic. Although I came off a Vector, though. That was my last one.
You got a Vector in your mystery box?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I've probably gotten 20 to 30 of these mystery boxes, and that was my first actual win.
Yeah.
And when I pulled it out, I was like, my mind was blown because one of the items in the box was not what it was supposed to be. So Evike actually messed up the order.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so they gave me a Gundam M4 type thing, and the Vector. Well, the Vector was supposed to come with a grenade launcher. So when I pulled out the Gundam, I thought I got a base box, and I was all depressed. And then when I pulled out the Vector, I was like,
"What?"
I could barely. So I do all my videos like I don't like to cut them, and when I did that, my mind was so blown that I almost could barely finish the video because I was just like,
does not compute. Does not compute.
I felt like I needed to reboot. But so funny. I actually want to see if this is a base box or not.
Yeah, read what everything that's in there. Or
it's not a base box. Wait. It is a base box. Okay, because it's not. It's not a base box. This is a medium box.
Okay.
So most of the base boxes are going to be like 50 winners. This had 115 boxes. The base box was actually a P90. Why was the P90 the base box?
Because nobody likes them.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of wish I got the base box on this one. Because I do like the Crytek P90s. I think they're neat.
Well, those ones, yeah, those are nice. But the ones we've gotten in, we got a handful of them, or a couple of them in the mystery boxes. The P90s, they were the cheaper ones. I can't remember which brand.
And, I know which one you're talking about.
Kind of shitty. I mean,
yeah.
And when you're, if you're really going to use it on the field, it's most people are not used to changing that mag, so it's really difficult to get used to that unless you really practice with it.
I've seen one guy do it successfully on the field.
Gotcha.
And his name's Louis. Shout out to Louis. Awesome.
Shout out Louis. P90 expert.
And it's funny because he's actually played in a maid outfit on a couple occasions.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this dude's a complete being. He's amazing. But he runs a P90 on the field, and he actually runs it really well. But this one was a 1 of 20 winner. So it's not a base box, but it's not a winner.
Yeah, that's good, though.
But it was the EMG Spikes Tactical License M4 AR-15 parallel training weapon. And it was valued for $349. Now I paid like $320 for this, so that's my value back right there.
Right.
And then the Wii Galaxy High Kappa was $165. So
that's good.
I'm stoked about it. And the great thing about it is now I have that EMG M4 to give away to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I enjoy doing.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, and you got the hand sanitizer and the little note that says "keep calm and wash your hands." Shit. Okay, so now you're protected from COVID and.
Ready? Oh, it didn't stick, so it can't stay on my wall.
Oh, damn it. I think you got a circular file around there somewhere. Just throw it in there.
Actually, I do. I will do that right after this. So in the other boxes that I've gotten, they've given us like these 50 packs of these masks. And I'm like, what are we going to do with these?
Our last handful of mystery boxes that we were getting, because we haven't done a mystery box in a very long time on our channel. But the last handful of them that we did, COVID was just starting to its thing or whatever, and so every mystery box had masks in them, and you could see on some of our videos we're like, "Fuck this thing! Don't need this! Don't."
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about the masks is one of my subscribers was like, "Well, why don't you give them to a local vet?" So I actually did start saving them and giving them to like the vets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was just blown away. I was like, "You're taking my value away. Stop it."
Right.
Where's my patch? Give me a patch. I love patches.
Yeah, dude. All airsofters.
I mean, yeah. Balrog, shout out to you. Your patch collection's awesome.
Who is it?
Balrog.
Yeah.
So he's one of my friends. He's part of a team called One Legion. One Legion's.
Oh yeah.
Are you familiar with them?
Well, just by name. So I did a podcast with a girl in South Africa. And she is part of One Legion, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" So she was telling me it's like all over the world.
Correct. Yeah. So they have a team in South Africa. I was a part of their team at one point. There was no hard feelings on us separating.
Right.
Yeah. They're a great team.
Well, that's a pretty common thing anyway.
Yeah. So they have a team, or they have members in South Africa. They actually just picked up a team in Puerto Rico. Then there's the UK, Canada. I hope that Canada doesn't change their stupid laws to ban airsoft guns so that they can still play. And then they have the United States. So they're a huge team. Nutmeg's their commander. And then Balrog was one of the members that joined like right after I had left and went to Havoc.
Gotcha.
And he's a great player. I've never seen anybody. Well, I've seen a lot of people play, but I've never seen anybody better than him. But his patch collection is absolutely insane. Like
I'll
when
have
when
to
I,
check that out. Does he have a YouTube channel? Is that how you saw it?
I think that he has an Instagram, Balrog Photography,
Oh, okay.
and then it's One Legion underscore Balrog is his Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll have
his
to check
patch
that out.
collection's insane. I wish that I had it.
Hell yeah.
How long have you
Well,
been playing?
so I haven't played, actually. I've never played Airsoft, but I run an Airsoft podcast. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay, my mind is blown now.
See? That's what I thought. So, when I started the YouTube channel because I needed something to do. I didn't
Uh-huh.
care about Airsoft. Didn't give a shit about Airsoft. I was an old school paintballer back in the
Mm.
mid and late 90s. So, and I didn't care about, in fact, I didn't like videos on like YouTube or Vine or, all the shit that my kids were getting into when they were in school. And I was like, get off your phone and go outside and do something,
Yeah.
or get off your tablet. They had tablets and stuff back before phones were like they are now. So they're watching Vine videos, like they're just sitting around laughing, and I'm like, what are you watching? So I would take them outside. I had three boys and two girls, and so I'd take them outside, teach them how to whatever,
Hmm.
shoot and just build something, dig a hole, use a hatchet, use an axe, a knife, carve a stick, whatever.
Hmm.
So I was not. I liked computers. I was a PC gamer for a long time. So I love technology, but I didn't like my kid. Like, what are you doing watching these dumb videos? These 30-second videos that were just little skits or whatever. So I was not into it's just a weird thing that I ended up running an airsoft channel because on YouTube, because I didn't like YouTube. I thought it was dumb as shit when I first heard about it.
Hmm.
And when my kids were on it, I was like, this is the dumbest thing. What is this? I'm not kidding. And then they said airsoft, and I was like, what? Those fucking little plastic things I bought you when you were 12? No, no, we need to show you the new stuff. I was like, all right. So they showed me M4 with a new, they took the orange tip off, did the thing. I was like, whoa, this is cool. So anyway, I was still stuck in the house, but needed something to do, so I started filming all their stuff. Um, and so anyway, uh, and then in the last year, I was able to start working again, and I haven't been able to go play airsoft. So I have not played. These guys, my boys and their friend, played, and that's where the game stuff, or we only have a handful of gameplay videos. They would go to Mill Sims, whatever, and take GoPros and film, and I did uh, countless hours of editing and watching to edit and whatever. So yeah, so I took care of the channel. They played, and now I'm talking with people about airsoft. So
That is amazing. Like,
I yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I would like you to come out and play,
Oh,
um,
for sure.
but
Yeah.
the fact that you can still find enjoyment on something that your kids do, even though you have never been able to do it, and then involve yourself into that life, like
Yeah.
that's exactly what I want for my boys.
Cool.
Uh,
I've had a blast, man. And honestly, doing these podcasts, well, doing the channel, first of all, especially the mystery boxes, I'm sure you get such a variety of stuff. And now there's four of us on the channel. There's me, my son Colton, my son Christian, and then their friend JP, okay, Johnny.
Mhm.
So we would each get an Evike BOA.
Mhm.
Every time one would come out, we would get one. So we would open four boxes on our mystery box openings
Mhm.
or unboxings. And sometimes they would have friends come over there would be six of us that got a box.
Mhm.
So we're, to as far as, for me, like not knowing anything about airsoft, not really giving a shit about airsoft, and then getting into this, like, that way. And we get all these boxes, and there's all this different, like, I'm like, holy shit, they make replicas for everything. World War II guns. I was blown away, man. Like, and I know I'm sure there's people out there that watch our channel and watch some of those earlier videos, and I'm like freaking out when we open a box.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably think I'm like doing it, like being over dramatic for the, for the camera. I'm really that surprised and excited,
Yeah.
'cause I had no clue anything about airsoft. I looked up how to start a YouTube channel, not airsoft. So I watched very, very little airsoft videos before we started. I just wanted to know the how-tos of the best way to film, put it up, or whatever, So,
Mm-hmm.
so I was super excited, and doing the channel and being involved in all this has gotten me way more excited about airsoft over this time, and also more recently these podcasts, learning people's story on how they got into it and how excited and passionate they are about it.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me more excited, so and passionate about it. So anyway, yeah,
So are you
I
planning
will.
on playing?
I am planning on playing. I don't have it in the books, kind of date set yet, but I will. I will.
Fantastic. Yeah, so my oldest is I said he was turning 4 on September 11th.
Yeah.
I don't want to wish his life away, but I am looking forward to that first time that he can join me on the field, because I see fathers and sons and fathers and daughters. I haven't really seen any moms and sons, or moms and daughters. I mean, it's understandable. It's a very
male or oriented sport, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. And so I have seen fathers and sons, fathers and daughters and stuff out on the field. And I kind of get jealous, because I'm like, I want my kid out there
Right. shooting
shooting other kids with me. It's so weird to think about. I'm 36 years old out there shooting like 14 and 15-year-old kids. It kind of feels I kind of feel bad about it, but then I'm like, you know what? It's all in good fun. It's having a blast.
Yeah, dude. They enjoy it too. I mean, everyone
Yeah.
likes when you go on the field. And, I know from 5, 6 years of paintball, you want more people out there. I mean,
Oh
to a
yeah.
point. Obviously there's a balance, but you definitely don't want to show up with 4 of your friends to the field that day, and you're waiting for like 3 hours because there's nobody there. That gets old as shit trying to shoot, 2 on 2,
Yeah.
in a giant woodland area.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's another reason. So, um, Havoc, we have in the past, if we have like a gun that's been sitting around for a while, I'm sorry, YouTube, a replica that's been sitting around for a while, um, we'll usually take it to the field and find like a rental that hasn't played much,
Yeah.
or he's played once, and we'll watch him throughout the day and be like, okay, this kid really enjoys this. And then at the end of the day, we'll be like, hey, how'd you like it? And he'll be like, oh man, it was a blast. I want to do it again. Blah blah blah. And we're like, well, now you can. And then give him that replica. It's so much fun. And then the greatest part is like, let's say their mom or their dad dropped them off, and their dad's picking them up, and he sees that, and then he's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh, I love that feeling.
Yeah.
Such a
I
great
know.
feeling.
I was talking with call sign Honey Badger, and he lives out in Texas. I've had him on the podcast twice. Well, anyway, he was talking about the second time, just a couple weeks ago. He had gone to the Evike grand opening. I think it's called High Grounds. They opened a new store, a new field out in Houston area, and so he went to that, and he was like, that in your mystery box tonight, you got that card, that like playing card,
Yep.
with a gun on it. So they have some kind of contest going on, if you have a full house and all that kind of shit. Well, anyway, so they had that for everybody at the grand opening. Well, then they also had like golden tickets.
Yep.
So they were giving out, so you might have heard of those. And so some of the guys, this Honey Badger was telling you, he's like, some of the guys were like, they got them. They were older and they had like, a bunch of guns already and stuff. So they got like a golden ticket. They were like, oh, that's cool. But this like, I don't know, 12 or 10 or 12-year-old kid got one and he was just going nuts, and his
Yeah.
parents were there and he was just so excited and jumping up and down. It was like, the golden ticket in Willy Wonka, like how excited those kids were. So, yeah, it's cool to see, man, those younger guys doing that.
So yeah, going back to that, like what Honey Badger was saying, like that, watching the younger generation getting those golden tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's where the older guys like us look at our golden tickets, and then we search out for that younger person that didn't get one, and then we're like, "This is yours," because what's it going to do for us?
Right.
Like, I mean, look at my collection. I got a Polar Star F2 in an MP5. What do I need anything else for?
Nice. Yeah, I was going to ask you about some of your guns up there. They look awesome.
Oh,
Looks
thank
like
you.
you got an AAP01 up at the
Yep.
top. Well, my left, probably over your right shoulder. Is that on the other side? Is that a 50?
Yeah, that's Deagle. I actually got that one for nostalgic purposes. The first handgun, the second handgun I ever shot. The first one, I was like 6 years old and I don't remember it. But the second one that I ever shot was a 50 AE.
Damn.
But it's funny that you had said about the AAP01. When I do hit 1,500 subs, that one's actually going to a giveaway.
Oh, okay.
I know that they're really wanted right now. I don't really understand why. I don't like the look of them.
Yeah.
But
Well,
a lot of people want them because they can customize them.
Yeah, they customize them. They have some really, when you customize them, man, some of those ones look really awesome. But to that point, when we first saw one, I did not like the look at all.
Yeah.
It was odd.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a space gun.
Yeah, it looks like a space gun. It kind of remind me of the what is it? The German
Luger.
World War II Luger. Yeah, which are those are classic guns or whatever. But yeah, it's I never really liked that style.
Yeah, not a fan. I do think that they're neat. I think the internals are really good. I shot one of the guys on my team, or one of the guys that was on my team, Ranger Rick. He has one that he put like $800 into, and this thing is insane. It's like it's a tack driver. And I was just like, man, if I want to put $800 into a pistol, I would do that, but I would rather put $800 into an MP5 or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, and then I have the Tokyo Marui Extreme 45. This middle one is the 600. There's only 600 made. It was I think it's the VFC Mp5 limited edition. It has the red trigger, but there was only 600 made, and I thought that was pretty neat.
That's cool.
Did you want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going, dude, because you got a ton of shit back here on your wall. Like it's
okay. So
like so then you got the Deagle. Now what's the mask hanging up there next to it? That looks badass.
So I did a mystery box. It was probably my second one ever done. And when I was ordering it, they said that you could get a mystery box of a fiberglass mask made.
Nice.
And I was like, sure. And that came in, and it was so funny though, because I was like, man, this Predator mask is awesome. And my subscribers yelled at me like crazy. That's not a Predator mask. It's a Reaper mask.
Well, I was about to say Predator. It reminded me of a Predator mask.
Exactly, but you and I are older, and we remember that type of thing. But no, they were like, no, it's Reaper from, I think it was a video game Overwatch or something like that. Maybe something else. Oh, great. Now I'm going to get yelled at again because I can't remember the video game name.
Hey, fuck them, man. They'll be all right.
So it's a Reaper mask, and it was, so it didn't come intact. There's no lenses or anything with it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very odd.
Well, it's just for looks.
Well, it was actually supposed to be made for wearing. but
Oh,
it was supposed to have lenses in that were ASCII
oh,
certified,
gotcha.
but it didn't come with it. So, but either way, it's a wall hanger and it's been there ever since.
Looks cool. Okay.
I got into Speedsoft type stuff
Yep.
because I like running and gunning. So I started a high kappa build. If you can see that right there.
Oh, nice.
Um, it is a 5.1, and I just went to Blowback Masters and ordered a bunch of random crap for it. It was pre-built because I bought it used from my sponsor.
Yeah.
Full Send Rico, thank you. Your high kappa is now mine, and it looks different than when you had it. I'm sorry. Um, and then the one day I was at Jackal Tactical, he had this KWA 1911. It's the D-Day 2019 limited edition
Yeah.
1911.
Mm-hmm.
So that will never be shot.
Gotcha.
It is beautiful. It has a bunch of. Let's see if I can show it to you. Sorry, my mic is
Here it
really
goes.
short. So on this side, it has D-Day with a lot of inscriptions on the side.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And then on that side, it has the dates of D-Day and World War II, and then says 1944. And it says
That is awesome.
in memory of all who served.
Badass, bro.
So this is probably one of my favorite replicas.
Yeah.
I have an SMC9 with a primary airsoft adapter. I got that in a mystery box from Amped Airsoft in Pittsburgh.
Gotcha.
I was super stoked about that one. It was actually my primary for a long time until I finished my MP5 build. I love MP5s, and
Okay.
I'm sure you've noticed that I have a lot of them.
I've noticed that you've said it about 15 times so far, so
Yeah.
you definitely like them. I don't mind, by the way. I don't mind. I don't think I've had anyone on here that's showed off an MP5.
I will. So, and then I have the MP5K Scorpion.
Nice.
I got that in a mystery box from Evike. Oh no, I'm sorry. One of my subscribers, coworkers / another YouTuber, Julian IZ, got that in one of his mystery boxes, and then I had gotten the Keltec RDB-17, and he really, really wanted it, so I traded him.
Nice.
And I'm an MP5 fanboy, so I was very eager to do that.
Yeah.
Then I have so this started out as a VFC Mp5, the Mp5 made by VFC and Umarex. I gutted it out, made it, or put a Polar Star F2 in.
Nice.
Got the riser, got the reflex scope, put a silencer on it, the new handguards, and now it is my primary, and I will never stray from my beautiful beast. I'm actually, I knew what this was at one point. I was at Jackal Tactical, and I saw it, and I was like, "This thing is
it's the B&T."
Is it a B&T?
We had one. Yeah. I actually just gave it away like a few months ago.
I was like, "This thing is so cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
I need it in my collection, and it's going to be there."
Yeah.
I think it's so cool.
Yeah, those are a 1-to-1 replica as well. That's a the real steel version. Like you'll see them with 30 round mag or whatever, and they'll hold it up with that little stock is
no,
it's not. And it all came tumbling down. Oh, that's the Vector. Hell yeah.
I just put a mock suppressor on it, the riser, the reflex scope, and then the extended battery, and it's been it. So last weekend I was playing at Outdoor Extreme Lingelstown. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Outdoor Extreme at all.
I don't think so.
Well, the kid was playing airsoft for the first time ever, and one of the refs was letting him use his HPA setup, but for some reason, I think it was losing air pressure.
Yeah.
So it just wouldn't fire. So he basically used my Vector all day long. So this has seen the field once, and not by me.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah. I'll bet he was in heaven.
Oh yeah, he had a great time with it.
Nice.
I have an Ace. well, I'm not going to be able to pull that out. I have an ACR
That's all right.
Mikata.
Okay.
Then I have the full stock version of the Scorpion.
Nice.
Now, the MP7 here, it came to me Boneyard, and it was from the leader of my team that I'm on right now, Team Havoc. He was like,
okay.
"Hey, I know you're a huge fan of the Shorty Boys. I have this MP7 here. If you fix it, you can have it." So I fixed it, and now I have it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was definitely very nice. Thanks, Hells. You're awesome. That Crytek up there with the HPA in grip line coming out is actually my first gun ever. It was it's a Crytek Trident Mark II, I think is what it was.
Okay. Yeah.
I had tried out the SSR-15 from Navrich, wasn't a huge fan. Didn't give me the performance that I wanted. So I sold that and bought the F2 engine and put it in. And now it's my loaner gun whenever I go out and someone wants to like try HPA.
Yeah.
They play with that. My brother-in-law's used it. Pierce has used it. A bunch of other players have used it.
Okay.
It's just a fun little thing.
Yeah.
And then next to that is a $70 shotgun that I got into a box, but I didn't have a shotgun, so I really wanted it. So I kept it. And then the body of the M60, I don't know if you can see that over there.
Yep.
That's just the body. I'm looking for a gearbox for it because I do want to throw a Polar Star into that. I'm a huge Polar Star kind of guy.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you've noticed that by now.
Kind of.
So I do want to throw a Polar Star into that. I think it would be so much fun to have an M60. I actually played with my first LMG on Saturday. I mean, I've shot LMG in the Army, but playing in Airsoft, I was like, man, this is fun.
Yeah. But
before I went out with the LMG, and this is probably one of my first times that I have ever had a regret giving away a gun. It was an A&K 249. I had never used it before. And as I was going out, this kid was eyeing it up like crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, his brother came up to me and he's like, "Oh man, that's my son or my brother's dream gun." And I was like, "Really now?" And so I went up to him and I was like, "After this game, this is yours." And then I played with it and I was like,
"Oh shit." You're like, "Shit."
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I didn't say that.
But I do tell you, he was a lot smaller than me, and I was hurting after playing with it because it was full metal.
Oh God!
Like it was
11 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I was tired holding it, and he was probably half my size. So in my head, I was like, I kind of want to save him from this, but I also already made a promise.
Yeah. I mean, once you say that, nothing you say, like, oh, you're not going to be able to use it. It's too heavy. You're not going to, nothing's going to like, make it okay on his end. Like, no, this is mine.
But when I think about it though, when I think about it though, like it was definitely worth it, but I want one now.
I've got one similar. I can't remember the brand, but it's full metal, heavy as shit. My son bought it and tried to put, I forget what he was trying to put into it. Actually, there's a couple videos on our channel of him working on it. And so we still have it. And this thing, he took it to a milsim. And I was like, "You sure you want to take this?" He's like, "Yeah." So I said, "Okay, yeah, have fun." He's like, "It's not that heavy." I'm like,
"Right now,
so you carry it around for 3 hours. Go ahead." So anyway, he got the most workout he's ever gotten at a milsim with that gun. Because I mean, he can't put it down. That was his main that he brought, that pistol. So he's like, "Well, shit, I don't know." Like he said, his biceps were burning the whole weekend. I said, "Oh yeah."
Look at the guys that run them. You got guys like Airsoft Alphonse. He's running around with a 249, but the guy's a freaking animal.
Yeah, he's a brick shithouse, bro. And then there's another guy, team I've talked with at House of Jackals. They're in Florida. They one of those guys. The last podcast I did with them, one of their guys is like 6'2" or 6'3", and like a bodybuilder. I mean, he's not huge like a bodybuilder, but pretty damn close. And he's ripped.
I have a
And he
House of
carries
Jackals
an
patch.
LMG. You have their patch?
I think so.
The HOJ?
I could have sworn I saw it. As soon as you said House of Jackals, I'm like,
Yeah, you got Call Sign Death. His name's Matt as well.
I don't see it.
That is the leader of that team. But yeah, bunch of guys. But yeah, he's a big dude, and he runs the LMG like no problem.
Yeah, but that's because he's 6 foot.
Well, he works out too. My son is 6'1", and well now, at the time he was 6'1" and 280, and it kind of worked out here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2 years later, he wouldn't be able to carry that thing for 10 minutes. Oh yeah.
I tell you what, though, that M60 without any internals in it, it weighs more than that 249 that I was carrying.
Wow. Yeah.
Like it is. Well, I mean, the M60 is the older brother of the 240.
Bravo. Yeah.
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 So,
we had the M60 when I was in. So
God, you are old.
No shit.
So what was World War II like?
Well, son, let me tell you.
we had to walk up the beach of Normandy both ways,
barefoot,
uphill both ways,
and it snowed. Okay,
2.5 miles uphill. I'm sorry, 2.5 miles was a little bit short. 9.75.
Yeah,
miles.
9.5 miles to school. Our parents always told us. I qualified with the M60, and then well, I don't know if we qualified with it. We shot it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only one that changed when I was in was in boot camp. I qualified with the 1911. We still had the 1911 for the pistol. Oh, dude, great. And then my last year in, I got E4 corporal, so NCO or whatever. I had to go to NCO school, and I qualified with the Beretta that was coming out. They were just bringing into, and so I did a full combat pistol course with that thing, and then it was cool. I mean, it's fun. It's fun shooting for free. Okay, whether it's a 9mm or a 45, but I will take
going
a 45
from a 1911 to an M9 sucks ass.
Oh, dude, I don't
curse on my videos ever. It sucks ass.
Well, I curse a lot on this thing, bro. I'm telling you. Oh yeah, so you can, it's free speech, okay. But yeah, the 1911 was, we loved it, and it just when you would put that thing on your hip, it feels different, especially with a full mag. Oh, there we go. Yes, sir. Love it. Classic.
It is the best.
One of my favorite weapons.
Best pistol ever invented.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is I bought this for my son before he was born. My oldest.
Okay. Yeah.
My oldest, his name is Colt. Okay.
Nice.
And he was born on 9/11.
Oh shit! Right. You just said his birthday was 9/11. Wow, that's crazy. Now you just blew my mind. Yes.
Yeah. So before and Colt, I hope you don't watch this before you're 21. When you are 21, you will get this, and it's going to have your name and birthday engraved on the side. That's why
Nice.
I bought it. You are my firstborn son. I don't love you better than your brothers. Walker, Jameson, remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, boys.
Yeah, boys.
We love all our kids the same, okay?
But he's my firstborn son, so get over it.
Now, one you didn't go over in the back, there was the pink one. I don't think you didn't talk about that. What? I understand, bro. I understand your Army. It's okay. It's okay.
So that's that. I got that in a mystery box, and I used it in an indoor game at Know It All Paintball. No, not Know It All Paintball. No, it was Know It All Paintball in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
And then I got the sticker made from my team on the side for Havoc, and it's kind of a meme at this point.
Yeah. Well, it's the only thing that adds color, that bright in the on your wall there. So it's good.
Oh yeah.
It's good contrast.
I mean, I have a pink M4 mag, but
Okay. Yeah. Oh, now I notice. Yep. That's cool.
Well, I was thinking about like taking the white and making them black.
Ooh.
So it'd be pink and black accents. I actually
cool.
The funny thing is I wanted to HPA the G36.
Yeah.
Just to make it my primary. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. She'll be mad, and I will not shoot straight for.
Exactly. It won't. She won't work right the next time you go.
Yeah, my nozzle will get stuck in my bucking and rip my bucking out. No, but I actually did want to HPA that G36, but it has the modified V3 gearbox in it. So you have to do all like this weird 3D printing crap, and I just
okay.
I was like, for a fun gun, there's really no point in going through all that
right
drama. I completely forgot. Have you been hearing clicking?
No.
Okay, all right, good. So for my videos, I have to unplug my electric fence for my large animals.
Yeah.
Which is in my office, and I just heard it started clicking, and I was like, has it been clicking this entire time?
Well, let's do a test. Let's be quiet real quick, and I'll see if it comes up on the audiograph here. Oh my God, it's so loud. No, I didn't hear a thing, bro.
Okay, fantastic. Because it comes up on my boom mic all the time, and I was like,
oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It's not quiet.
Yeah, that's what I love about these. This thing, bro, this headset was like $25. Okay, it's a Logitech, just one of those like call center, IT support little headset. I love it. Plug and play.
Sound good.
It's great. I didn't have to do shit. I have a nice Turtle Beach for my Xbox and all that shit. I've had more expensive mics. I have a Blue Yeti or some shit. Blue Snowball, Snowball, and yeah, this is the best thing, man. I move around, so if somebody's used to sitting in front of a mic podcasting, like Jocko Willink, like Joe Rogan and his guest or whatever, well, even those guys, a lot of the times he'll have to tell the guest, hey, put the mic right here, like he'll have to keep reminding them because people aren't used to it. And so I'll have guys on here that they'll have that mic, on the boom stand, and they're not used to doing that all the time. So they will try to tell me something. And they're like, yeah, so over here, and then I just lose their voice because the mic is so like sensitive to speak right into it. So
that, and they're expensive.
Yeah, they're very expensive. Those Roadies, they're fucking expensive as shit. I almost got one. And I was like, you know what? It's just not worth it to me. I'm going to have to move it around all the time. This is so versatile. I can move around. I put some electrical tape on the cord right here that comes out because it's real flimsy. And you can't even tell on camera. But I made it kind of like stiffer so that it doesn't like flop around because it was like if I turn my head, it would hit the mic. So now I just stick straight down. It's out of the way. It's got a nice mute button right here. So, dude, I love it. And it's USB. I plug this fucker in and it's done.
I just wish that mine was a little bit longer so that I could reach back to my wall. I tell you what, though, whenever I do my videos, I actually may think about doing it this way because for the longest time I was having such mic issues. I was using a lavalier mic, but it was Bluetooth, so something in my office was interfering with the
Ah,
Bluetooth
right.
connection, and it was annoying the crap out of me because you'll be watching my video and all of a sudden it sounds like I'm a robot.
Oh yeah.
And then I got this boom mic that was recommended by one of one of Paul's friends, my
Mm,
sponsor, Jackal. And I love the boom mic. I think it's great, but it doesn't sound as good as this.
mm-hmm.
And this headset's not expensive either. And the funny thing is I'm sitting here saying that it doesn't sound as good as this, but I haven't heard what this sounds like yet because I haven't watched your video. So I could actually sound like complete crap right now.
It sounds awesome. Like
Fantastic.
yeah, it does. It really sounds like it's got the perfect amount of treble and bass. Like it sounds like a really good mic.
Well, what do you use to record?
Uh, Streamlabs OBS.
Okay, I may have to look into that because are you familiar with 6 millimeter Badger at all?
Yes.
Okay, so him and I had been talking about doing a collaboration unboxing.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to do something kind of like this. We
Mm-hmm.
haven't really worked it out and worked out all the kinks. He's a very busy guy. I'm a very busy guy. So we haven't worked all that out. So I needed something that like we're in Discord right now
Yeah, Discord.
and recording off of Discord. Like that's
Oh
insane to
yeah.
me.
So
So
I set up just a real quick rundown on it. If you want to do something like that, Streamlabs OBS is free. I use the free version. You can upgrade, just like most applications or whatever. But I use the free one. It has a bunch of. I just watched videos on how to set it up because I had no clue. Very very simple. It's a very powerful tool,
mhm.
but it's streamlined. It's simple. It's user friendly. And so anyway, I have a scene set up with for this where I do a screen recording. So I have
Mhm.
two monitors. I'm watching on this monitor over here where I have it running, so I can see the audio levels and make sure it's recording and shit. And then this screen in front is the actual screen that it's recording. You can choose that when you set that up
Hmm.
in your recording options. So display capture, I choose this display, and then whatever. So anything that comes up on this screen will be recorded on this podcast, and then you just do your audio inputs and outputs or whatever. Get that set up. So I have three little inputs on my or sources on my scene. If you want to set up something like that with that guy, you can do either one, Skype or this, and just record the screen. You can both be on here just like we are. So anyway, yeah, it's a simple setup. Thank you for being on here, Matt. And give a shout out to your team and your channel and where people can find you online and all that good stuff.
All right, fantastic. So I am part of Team Havoc. Havoc are my boys. You guys are amazing. I love all of you, and I would die for every single one of you. I am Phantom of the Airsoft. You can come find me on YouTube at Phantom of the Airsoft, or you can just look up Phantom Airsoft and you'll see my patch there. I'm sure there will be an image of it in the thumbnail or something or other. Um, and then my sponsor, Jackal Tactical, it's Jackal _ Tactical _ Airsoft on Instagram. Go find him out. He doesn't have a website right now, but we are working on that. If you need anything, we will ship in the United States. So just ask and you shall receive. And I appreciate you guys listening. And I really enjoy all of my subscribers that actually listen to this podcast because I will be sharing it once it's released.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, Matt. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you.